Okay, YouTubers, here's what I got today. I'm trying to focus this thing in. It's coming on, you can probably see it's a tester. It doesn't have anything in it, so it says no unknown or damaged part, you know. So it means it came on before I got a chance. Now watch this. It tests the battery in it. It's called an M tester version 207. It's a little gizmo I bought on eBay for it's like $7, $8, you know. I keep touching that button, it keeps lighting up telling me it ain't got a part in it. Okay, well, just for testing, let me grab this one. I'm going to grab this capacitor I got here. I'm going to stick it in. All you do is stick it in these two little holes here, you see. It's not exactly made to, let me see. All it's got is just, you put it in and you see it clamp it down like that. Now watch. So the little M, it's called an M tester. Watch what it shows. Okay, see what it shows? It shows 959.7 picofarads with an ESR of 26 ohms, a V loss of 1.4%. Okay, hope you can make that out on the film, okay? And the capacitor reads, if I can get a shot of it, reads 1,000 picofarads, okay? And it says 965.5, so it's like 966 picofarads, you know. Anyway, it tells you it is a capacitor, and it tells you what value that it's reading. Okay, so it pretty much identifies things. Let me get you, see, can you see that? Hope you can read that. Let me get it goes off to automatically. Let me go ahead and stick another component. I'll tell you what I got it for mainly, is I get aggravated. I've bought so many, go dragging out a color chart, trying to figure out what every resistor is, you know. And I'll show you here. I was working on a piece the other day, so I bought a whole box of diodes. Look at that, a whole box of diodes, and were to rebuild a power supply. And so it said I should reach in the box, and I didn't have in that box and know what they were, you know. I didn't know what the value was, so I stick on this little gizmo here, a little M tester, lock it down, and it's running off a 9-volt battery. Watch. Here we go again. See, it's testing it. It says 660 micro C6PF picofarads, okay, 667 microvolts. Anyway, it's a diode. You see what it says? A diode. I can read the value of the diode off of it, you know. I guess a diode's a good example, but just show you what the kind of things, you know, if you're looking for a value of a component. And it said, you know, like that last capacitor we just read, it said 969 picofarads, and it's supposed to be 1,000 picofarads. Okay, now I got all kind of electrical components, you know, electronic components, and I don't know necessarily if the values are correct or if they were misbagged or whatever, you know. But let me show you. Here's a bag. I happen to mark this bag, but it's all my components. I always use 1% or better components. Usually I try to get 1%, but if you'll notice, this is 1% and it says 2.7 kilo ohm. Remember, this is just one. I always buy it. Now, you'll probably wonder, why does he use 1%? Well, because I looked on the internet and they say 1%, you know, so I figure use the best components. That way, no matter whether I'm doing instrumentation or whatever, the value of 1% means it's going to be higher quality, more or less, I guess, you know. But I always try to, because of the price, not because I demand that, because of the price, I try to get the 1% stuff. I built my last audio amplifier. I used, they call for 2%, but I used all 1% on it. Okay, now you notice one point I want to make. It has, see, it has a 9-volt battery runs it, okay? Now here it says 5091 kilo ohms, okay? 27, it's what it is, they're 270 ohm resistors. This is 2713. See, that's why I say I use this thing to identify my components. Watch it, it'll come up with it. See right there? 2719, so it's 2.7 kilo ohms, okay? So in other words, without me having to pull out a little color chart and identify these things, I can just throw them in there and it tells me exactly what they are. The thing about it is, if it's given some oddball value, say something like 2.5 or something, well, I'd know then that based on the color chart, if it's near if whatever that little machine says is near what the value I think it's supposed to be, then I figure it coming out here is all right. But look, I got, you know, where it's going to be in the ballpark. But I got, as you can see, look, I got, and these are all assorted. Now, each one of the levels, in other words, each one of the pages of this pack is a different value resistor. Now, they're written on the edge. They kind of, see, like here they have, let's see, right here they got right 10K right here, you see, and each one of them, you go back. There's 100K, you know, in other words, it's got to identify them, but in other words, instead of using the color chart, I just use this little gizmo and then identify the resistors. Now, you think that's the end of it? No, I'm not sloppy like that. In other words, I use it to identify my resistors pretty much. Then, as a final check, before I actually use them in circuit, I have a Fluke 289 multimeter. So what I do as a final check is I measure the actual value with my 289 Fluke, and then say it's a 1% resistor. I expect the values to be pretty darn close, okay? Because I figure this, if I put the best, if I breadboard something, I'll put the best components I can, I should come out with the values, in other words, I should come out with the results expected, since I'm using 1% equipment. But like I say, you can just put the piece, see right here, these little slots here, you put the component, like, put one leg in here and one leg in here, and you close this little thing here, see? That locks it in. Then you can press your button and it'll tell you, hold on, we'll do one more just to keep you guys interested, okay? I'm trying to give you a heads up on some good little, you know, on a hobbyist level, you know, or home improvement level, I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, on a certain level, you know, it's going to keep the tolerances in 1%, within 1%. But I also use my multimeter to double check that the value that the little machine there says equals what I want, you see. And I don't want to get my stuff disorganized. Now, I don't do something like throw my stuff in a drawer and that's good enough. No, I don't do that. I do keep them organized, but a lot of times the package won't be marked very well. So a little system like this is handy to check components that you might get in. You guys might have, say, a big scrambled pile of parts and you don't remember what was what. You can use this thing. This will at least primarily identify them. Then you use a better meter, but it's supposed to be 0.47, so I would check that with my Fluke meter. But in general, this thing will tell you right on the money what it is. I wouldn't want to use this in one of my circuits, you know, because it's an incorrect value, you know. But this little thing here, it speeds it, so you just stick the piece in there, flip the lever down, push this little button, and watch. Tells you the battery, the 9.21 volts in the battery. Now it's saying 065. For the final test, the components I select for a circuit, you know, if I'm going, especially me, I do so many high precision circuits and instrumentation, I want to check them so that the value I'm putting in the machine, this is a 1 watt 33 ohm resistor, okay? Take this thing out, okay? And when I'm putting them in circuit, I want to test them, you know, and the biggest thing this for is identification of what size resistor it is without having to take out one of them little color charts. Now, the thing I find it even more useful for is with capacitor. Okay, guys, now what I found was a capacitor, Kenwood stereo receiver, you know. See, it shows 150.8 picofarad, ESR of 0.40 ohms, you know. V-loss is it's pretty high grade, you see. And look, it's 150, okay. See, you can read on the side of it. And what the problem with this machine was, the guy put it in, he did it himself. He saw they were pooched out, so, you know, they were puffed out on the end, so he tried to replace them, and he put them in backwards. That's another thing for you to watch out when you put capacitor in, is to watch the polarity of them. You know, watch. I'll show you again. See, now watch what comes up. Okay, 153.7 picofarads. Okay, 0.41 BSR loss, 1.11. This pretty much tell you what your capacitor is doing. It's it can, you know, it tells you in actual terms what it is. That's a good part about it, rather than having to buy an ESR meter and everything. This thing tells you what it is right now. Okay, it's pretty reliable too. This for a electronic hobbyist or the home hobbyist, you know, or you know, the electronic experiment. It's a pretty good little device, especially when you're talking about $7-8 and a 9-volt battery. You're in business. Let me give you a little heads up before I leave you here. In all the time I've bought stuff on eBay, and what I'm referring to is electronic stuff, you got to watch them, people, because you'll see these ads on eBay where it says, oh, we have no method of testing and all this, you know. No, they know the piece does not work. They know that it's damaged, but they're trying to sell it under the guise, oh, we're what they're doing is they're trying to pawn off on you. If you see one that's got that on, just steer away. They have no way of confirming it, so you're putting the price of the component, I mean the price of the piece plus shipping and all together, and you're buying a pig in a poke. And I tell you what, let me spin this around. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I got that is no good, that I'm having to repair, that I bought on eBay. Okay, look, I got right here, I got an oscilloscope. It's an HP 54501A. It's known to have a bad EEPROM in it, you know. Okay, it's bad. Over here, down here, I got this piece here. This is a signal generator. I bought that to fix CB radios with. I'm not a CB enthusiast, but I bought it to realign CB radios to put them back in shape with, you know. It does not work. And they gave me some line of crap about, oh, it wouldn't work, this switch was bad or something. It's not what's wrong with it at all, you know. And then I got a multimeter here, a digital multimeter. It's a high precision multimeter. It's bad. It's good, but my oscilloscope and my signal generator aren't any good. All of them bought on eBay with that pitch about, oh, we have no way to test it. No, they knew it was bad when they sold it. And of all the stuff I bought over the years on eBay, I was just fine. If they can't verify it, don't buy it, because they're shipping you junk that most you hobbyists cannot fix. It's beyond the scope of your capabilities, or at least not right now. In other words, if you haven't got the capability to fix, just pass on it. You know, I find that with a lot of photographic equipment and a lot of electronic equipment. But my advice to you, if you run up on stuff on eBay that says they have no means of testing, it means because they know it's broke. So just move on. And me, I sit here, I guess one of the things I learned by buying that stuff is if I have the electronic knowledge to fix it, I'll attempt to fix it, because I figured like this. It's like, you know, it's like teaching is learning. You know, I figure you learn from your mistakes. Now I'll just sit there and fight it until I figure out what's wrong with it. A good schematic, I'll solve it right away, but a lot of this stuff does not have good schematics. It's hard to get, and you'll run into that on eBay. But don't be buying stuff on eBay based on somebody saying, oh, we don't have any way to test it. All. They know it doesn't work, so don't buy the damn thing. And I'm trying to show you here, the like this little piece here is pocket change, you know. Order you one of these things on eBay. Wait a minute, I got to plug it in. Maybe not necessary, but if I usually replace anything in circuit with a higher, higher wattage or whatever, like a resistor. If I could come out with a 1/4 watt and put a 1/2 watt in it at a minimum, you know, and if it blows something else, I don't care. I want the strongest component I can get if it'll fit in the circuit, you know. Guaranteeing a less chance of damage, and what do you say, less chance of failure. And the components, I always check them before I put them in the circuit with my multimeter, based on what this little gizmo here will test it, yes, but it'll identify it even better. But this component out of circuit, say like you got a capacitor, you can read this capacitor, it gives you ESR and everything on it. So it's a pretty good unit for you can even check the capacitor against the specs. But if you get a high grade capacitor, it's going to show it as a within value, you know. This is a pretty good little deal for doing that. Not the best, you know, but it's for the home hobbyist and all. When you want to change out capacitor, get one of these little things. And, you know, it's a very entertaining piece if nothing else, you know. And I'm not trying to steer you around. This is Dino at Dino's Workshop. And you know, guys, I'm always monkeying with something. I mess with so much stuff, and I'm trying to put your heads up on the kind of stuff that's not going to break the pocketbook, and you can have fun doing it. Because you spend too much on something that you don't know about, you're going to be disgusted, like I wasted my money. And you can't, if you take this thing, say like $10, and hell, I think I didn't even pay shipping for it. I think it was like $7, $8, no charge for shipping. Excuse me, I'm just getting over the flu. And anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and click on subscribe to Dino's Workshop, because like I said, I'm always coming up with new stuff. I'm trying to put videos up when I'm well, to keep you interested. You know, I hope you enjoy my presentation, and I hope you understand what this thing does. I might not have made a very good presentation for this, but this little gizmo here is just a handy little piece of junk. Look at it real good in case you want to buy one on eBay. It's a M-Tester version 2.07, you know. So y'all come on back. I enjoy being with you tonight, you know. Okay, have a good evening. Goodbye.